A common question that I get by email, by direct message is, Dr. Sue, I don't know how to learn about my pet's cancer. Well, in this video, it's going to be some quick tips for the best ways to learn about treatment options and your pet's cancer. So let's do it. Let's break down what are the best ways to learn about your pet's cancer. Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Sue. Welcome back to the vlog. This video I am going to attempt to be quick and give you my quick tips on places to go when your pet has been diagnosed with cancer and you're trying to figure out where is the best place for me to go and get information on their cancer. All right. So number one is you should see a specialist, and I'm going to tell you, you should be seeing a medical oncologist. Often even if your pet does not need chemotherapy. So let's break it down. Let's go to what I call the 30,000 foot view. So pets with cancer are often treated with surgery, sometimes radiation, and sometimes chemotherapy. But I still think it's a really good idea if your pet has cancer to see a medical oncologist, because we're going to help direct you in that. So I may see you and say, okay, we're going to do some testing, and then you're going to go see the surgeon, then we're going to get the biopsy report back, and then we're going to talk about monitoring. Or maybe based on that biopsy and some of the other testing, we're going to add chemotherapy. So again, I think it's really important if your pet has a malignant cancer to see a board certified oncologist. You're going to go to a couple of great resources. Of course, we're going to put links, but usually vetspecialist.com or acvim.org. You can put in your zip code and you can find a specialist near you. Also, talk to your veterinarian. They might be able to tell you where in your area you can find a board certified specialist. I'll be honest, there are definitely parts of the country where it's challenging to find a board certified oncologist, and in some parts of the country you may end up seeing an internist. Talk to your veterinarian. They know your geographic area pretty well. But again, seeing a specialist or having your vet consult with an oncologist is often going to be a great place to start, because they're going to understand your pet's cancer, how it behaves, what testing it needs, and then what are the different treatment options. I really think a board certified specialist is going to be a great place for you to start. Check out those links, see if you can find a specialist. I know a lot of people get really scared about seeing a specialist. They think it's going to be expensive. But I always call it a no obligation consultation. You can come in, talk to me, we can go over all the different treatment options. You don't have to do all the testing, you don't have to do all the treatment, but at least you're gonna have a really good overview. I think a really good place to go is that board certified specialist. So again, that's gonna be my number one place that I'm gonna recommend that you go to find out about the different treatment options for your pet's cancer. Number two is, I know we're all gonna Google, right? I Google too. And Dr. Google is, good and bad. And there's a lot of great information out on the internet. Maybe that's how you found me, and I'm gonna hope that I fall into that good category. But there's also a lot of crap information out there, and sometimes it's hard to figure out who wrote the information and is it from a reputable source. So if you are looking for good cancer treatment information, you have to be very careful where that information is coming. So I'm going to recommend that you go to one of the vet schools. And do they have an oncology program? So some of the great programs are like Colorado State University, University of Wisconsin, just to name a few. But there's many great veterinary schools that often have good oncology programs with really good websites. So that is often a good place to start. What I want you to be wary of is if you're Googling a site, and often I'm looking at what you guys are reading, and there'll be some cancer information, some articles written about lymphoma, and I go, who wrote this? And you can't tell who the author is. So you can't, and the About Us page will just say, we are a group of veterinarians. So I want to know who wrote that. And ideally, again, that information should be written by a board certified medical oncologist or somebody with specialty training. So make sure you know who's writing the information, or did they interview an oncologist for that article. And the other thing, are they trying to sell you a bunch of supplements? Because a lot of those websites are very sleek. So just be careful about that information. I would recommend that you start with information that is, written by board certified specialists. Start with, things like the different universities that have oncology programs. Make sense? Good. Okay, let's go on to number 3. It's also okay to do some research yourself. When I'm looking to see what's current going on, we go to PubMed. The problem with that is when you do a literature search, it can be really overwhelming. So other things that you do is you can go to your oncology books. So as you can see, I have my small animal clinical oncology and some of those books. So really depending on your level of training, or you're a science person or things like that, you could, look in some of these books and buy them. There's different levels, but there are some oncology books there as well, some articles in some of our veterinary journals. So those are some other places that you could go for information as well. Speaking of books that you could always check out on Amazon, I wrote a book a couple of years ago with one of my vet schools called the Dog Cancer Survival Guide. That is a book for pet owners, written in language for pet owners. So that would be an option as well. But again, same thing, be critical. Who wrote the book, when was the book written, and things like that, and try to find something as current as possible. Don't be afraid to ask your veterinarian or specialist, is there a good review? Do you have, a lot of times we as veterinarians will have articles for pet owners about the different cancers. So that would be something else that you can ask them. Do you have something for pet owners on lymphoma? Do you have something for pet owners on osteosarcoma? But again, asking them for something that they've sort of reviewed and think is a good one that was written by someone that they trust is probably going to be better than you just kind of searching through the internet and getting overwhelmed. My next tip for places to get good information is pet support groups. And this is like the internet, guys. You have to be a little bit careful and a little bit critical. So there are some great pet support groups out there, but I don't know all of them. For the, one that I know that I think is pretty good is Tripods, and I've mentioned that before. So that is a pet support group for 3-legged dogs. So Tripods. So it's spelled TRIPAWDS. And lots of my clients, when their pets have been diagnosed with osteosarcoma and have had amputations, they've given me great feedback about that as a community of pet owners that have gone through amputation or going through chemotherapy. I know on Facebook there are different ones for pet owners dealing with lymphoma, cat owners dealing with lymphoma and chemotherapy and things like that. So that might be a place where you go for support. With that, my advice is just to be careful, because one person's really positive or really negative experience could really taint you, scare you, excite you, and things like that. So just be careful with those support groups. Just like a friend down the street who said, my dog had a horrible experience with chemotherapy, might really freak you out, but another person said, my dog did really, really great with chemotherapy. So, but I think the overall idea of having a community of people who are going through the same thing with their pets can be really reassuring, especially maybe if the people in your immediate, circle of friends and family aren't going through that. So I do think those pet support groups can be helpful and supplemental, but again, are definitely, in my opinion, not going to replace things like the medical oncologist, seeing the surgeon, and talking to your veterinarian. And my last tip on what to do and where to go for information when your pet has cancer on treatment is right here. So you made it, so I hope that you will check out my other videos. And this is exactly why I make these videos. So I get so frustrated with some of the crap information out there that is not by reputable sources. So this is why I'm here. It's Monday night. I had a crazy work day and I had a quick dinner with my husband. My kids are getting ready for bed, and this is why I'm here, because for me, I want to help you. And so I have a whole channel of videos. So if you haven't watched them yet, guys, this is why I'm here. I'm a board certified oncologist and I want to give you good information. So please check out my other videos. If you want to figure out how they're organized, please check out vlog number 78, where I kind of run through my YouTube channel, how it's organized. Also, I have more information on my Facebook page, my Instagram channel, and also my website as well. I have so many pet owner resources, but I have videos about chemotherapy safety, side effects, and new videos constantly coming out. I just am doing a new one about chemotherapy side effects, brand new, that just came out a couple of videos before this. So constantly updating the channel, so please check that out. Lots of different videos about all the different treatment options for different tumors, and there'll constantly be more videos because that's why I'm here, is to help you. And that's a wrap on my quick tip video on how to learn about the different treatment options if your pet has been diagnosed with cancer. You know what I would love? I would love your feedback. Please comment below. Tell me about other really good sites that you have found helpful if your pet has been diagnosed with cancer. Let me know about other ones that maybe weren't so helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe. That way you'll be sure to find out about my next video. They come out every week. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you find the other sites helpful as well. Be sure to check out all the links below, and I'll see you back at the next video.